Here we go now.
If you are ready to live a life of abundance, if you are ready to best your best, then come to the edge. Because if you are not living your life on the edge, you are taking up far too much room.
Welcome back to The Edge. I'm your host, Eric Brown, and I have to ask this question. Who has your back? With me in studio, Mr. Mike Jones.
Oh, for sure, baby, for sure. Y'all are going to have to listen with the intent to be influenced today, because I know what you've been taught regarding this, and we're going to push up against your paradigm big time. So today, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you have a wingman or a wingwoman in your life? Somebody that's got all of your secrets, that knows where all of the dead bodies are buried, and you know that you can count on them because they're never going to be a snitch. They're never going to tell your significant other that they're cheating on them. They're never going to tell the boss that you may be embezzling some money. They got your back no matter how bad it gets. That's not the wingman or wingwoman that we are talking about today. We're talking about a wingman or a wingwoman that has your back in a way that they can tell you when you need to change something, or they can call you out for behavior that is not going to produce the kind of result that you know that you truly want to focus on. They can let you know when you are headed in the wrong direction. That's the kind of wingman and wingwoman that we are talking about today.
So, but Mike, I've been taught 100% that wingman or wingwoman is the person who keeps my secrets.
Yeah, and what I'm saying to you is we are going to completely focus on a different wing person today. So as a pilot, I can absolutely invite you into a conversation that's going to create a picture for you here that is going to allow you to be able to truly receive this message today. So when you're sitting in the cockpit of your airplane, your life, I want you to know that there's a 360-degree azimuth, a 360-degree circle around this airplane that you're sitting in. If you had a compass, it would go from 0 to 360 in degrees on the compass. So there is a compass or a circumference around this airplane that's 360 degrees. Now, as you sit in the cockpit of your airplane, what is available to you by way of what you can see is 180 degrees of that periphery, from wingtip to wingtip and everything that is in front of you. What I want you to recognize as we talk about wingmen and wingwomen, there is another 180 degrees behind you that you cannot see. We're going to refer to that as your blind spot. The only way as a pilot flying an airplane that I'm going to know what's in my blind spot is I've got to have a wingman or a wingwoman that's got my six, that's willing to tell me what's going on in that blind spot, that's willing to be honest with me as it relates to how I'm behaving, how I'm showing up, how I'm not showing up. Somebody who is willing to accept responsibility to hold me accountable because I've given them permission to do so. I got to say this out loud, y'all. You don't really know when somebody is truly a good wingman or a good wing woman until some shit hits the fan. That's when you're going to know that somebody is truly your wingman or wing woman, because they're not going to be there to hold your hand and coddle you and tell you that everything and everybody else is wrong in your life. They're going to be willing to tell you the truth. They're going to be willing to absolutely make sure that you can clearly understand exactly what's going on. Yes, your wingman or wingwoman should be somebody who will be there to support you, who will be there to prop you up when you need that. But they should not be the person that is there, that is just simply there to keep your negativity in check so that nobody else knows about what's in your blind spot.
Okay, Mike, so my healthiest weight is about 190 pounds. Right now, I'm a little over 220. So when I go into an environment and somebody says, hey, Mr. Brown, you look good. Is that a good wingman or wing
Well,
woman?
it depends on what they mean, Brown. I mean, you do look good. You may be overweight and good, but you still look good. But if it's somebody that you have given permission to hold you accountable, then they are not going to wait until you get so far out of whack that it is now a real task to have to get back to center. They have permission to give you feet forward. They have permission to hold you accountable. So they are going to begin to observe, because they're your wingman or wingwoman, when there are behaviors that are trending in such a way that you're going to be unhealthy if you continue to do that. So no matter whether or not we're talking about your behavior, or we're talking about your eating habits, or we're talking about anything else, your work ethic, when you have a true wing man or wing woman, they are going to let you know in the moment that you start trending in a bad direction. They're also going to be there to let you know when you're trending in a good direction. They're going to be there to catch you doing things right. They're going to be there to pump you up. They're going to be there to let you know that you have value and you have worth, and this is why, based upon the things that you're doing and the way that you're doing those things. So I would encourage you that if you don't have a wingman or wingwoman in your life, that you have given permission to tell you how to best your best, how to recognize the things that are going on in your blind spot, then I would encourage you to get that wing person, because they have a tremendous amount of value in the context of helping you to best your best and create an even better version of yourself.
Okay, so let me just make sure I'm picking up what you're putting down. So if I'm 30 pounds overweight and I go into an environment and this wing man or wing woman says to me, Brown, you looking a little fat, that's actually a positive?
I would say yes. And I don't know that you would agree, but I would say absolutely yes, because those people who are unwilling to speak the truth to you, Mr. Brown, and to our listeners, they are not your wingman or wingwoman. If they are not willing to tell you what is absolutely the authentic truth in this moment regarding your behavior, regarding your health, or whatever it is that you've got going on, then you need to get you a new wingman and a new wingwoman. But the trick here is you have got to give them permission to give you feed forward. You have got to give them permission to hold you accountable. So if I am sharing with my wing woman, who is my significant other, my wife, what I am focused on for this week as it relates to healthy eating, and I have given her permission to hold me accountable to that menu for this week, then she now will show up as a positive wing woman if I happen to get off track, to get me back on track. She's not going to wait till the end of the week to give me some kind of a review of the whole week. She is going to manage this in game. What I mean by in game, she is going to be in the moment when I go to the refrigerator to get that Bluebell pralines and cream ice cream, when I said that I wouldn't be doing desserts this week, and she's going to remind me of the commitment that I made. It is not in that moment that I get to see her as being a negative influence in that moment, or see her in a negative way. I've given her permission, and she is now managing the promise that I made, which makes her a good wing woman. She's got my 6. And I got to say this out loud, y'all, because somebody's going to really benefit from this. When you know who has your back, when you know who your wing man and wing woman is, you will play this game differently. You will never end up 30 pounds overweight when you have that person in your life, because they are going to help you manage the promises and the commitments that you've made.
Okay, so you mentioned this a number of times, giving the person permission to hold you accountable. So what's your advice or coaching for the listeners out there to the best way to get people on your team and give them that permission?
Yeah. So first of all, you've got to identify what your outcome is. You got to identify where you're going. You've got to identify what you want and what you need. You've got to be willing to effectively communicate that to your wingman or wingwoman. So again, in this instance, if I am focused on getting healthier and I have communicated to my wingwoman that I'm absolutely at 220 and I want to be at 200, here is the things that I am going to do to get to my target weight. Give them permission after you present them with your plan to hold you accountable to do what you said you're going to do. So if you're in a situation where you've gotten financially upside down and you are focused on becoming financially secure, financially healthy, I would tell my wing woman exactly what I need from them. I will tell them what my outcome is as it relates to my spending to get back to a healthy place. Give them permission to hold you accountable for whatever that outcome is or that commitment that you've made.
Wow. So actually, the wingman or the wingwoman isn't holding your secrets at all. In fact, they're telling you the truth.
They're putting your business in the street, baby, and making sure that you're going to do what you said you were going to do.
Well, you definitely play differently when you know who has your back.
Absolutely. And if you are absolutely not on the edge, you don't have a wing person that is absolutely giving you the feed forward that's going to help you succeed. Because when you have that person in your life, it's going to feel like you're out on that edge, baby. Because if you're not out there, you're taking up far too much.
Here we go now.